Okay, man, Mike, let me give you a run through on what I think is going to be good for you to use for your starting up kit. So, you know, I think camera gear and production gear, there's a bunch of stuff to really get. So it depends on how you want to use it. Um, Kind of starting off, I think that I'm going to show you a few cameras and definitely some lighting gear and some audio gear that I think that are a good fit for you. And I think that you're going to continue to grow your production gear, but it really depends on what you are like wanting to use it for. And I think it's good to start small and then get a good camera to recommend that's not like this one. This one is a powerhouse. This one is probably at the top at the prosumer level. Maybe like right at the low end of the pro. No, it's pretty high. This is a beast of a camera. But it really depends on how you use it, and I really would recommend you start smaller with a very good camera that's shooting high quality, but it's keeping in perspective that you want to make high quality film, meaning you want to produce possible documentaries, or some sort of movie, and those cameras, each cameras have abilities, and some are better than others for certain things. And we can just start off by the handle. This is a bigger one, and Sony did a better job. And see if we can get like a 3D. They did a better job, um, creating these type of cameras, so they're a lot more easier to um, they're easier to handle. You got to realize this is what they call a DSLR. It's usually it's a digital version of an old SLR camera from film. And the way cameras started coming about is they started really copying what the film camera did. And film, what it did was it would take a image through a mirror, um, and the mirror would actually burn the reflection of the lens light, the light that was entering into the lens, and it would burn onto film for each film. So what these new ones did is they replicated that. So they have these things called mirrorless sensors here. The image sensor. This is going to be for all of them. So these are obviously going to be the ring. This is a 35 millimeter ring that you're going to have, and it fit like Takina and Sony lenses, which are really good. They've really gotten very good. Used to be more in stereos and stuff on TVs, but they've actually really upped their game. So this is a beast of a camera, but you can tell it's a lot thinner and smaller when you would think that it would be something like the old school ones, but really it's being used. This camera is really being used for film, but they use a lot of settings to where you can control your uh, what you call your ISO, your exposure. And you used in the old film days, you used to be able to basically buy your film. You'd buy 100, 200 exposure, and it would, depending on where you want to shoot that, it could be more sensitive or less sensitive to light. Then you have your shutter speed. So there's going to be a shutter that opens and closes, and then you have your iris setting, which are going to be on your lenses. So there's three things that are going to affect your image. Um, so let me get back to the point that I was making about your gear that I think that you should have. And you're a pretty busy guy now as a lawyer, and I think it's a good to start at a smaller level to give you a high quality, but at a good price camera. Now here's the thing. This is the one I'm going to recommend for you. Um, it is if you can tell, it's a smaller type of camera, and but the quality of this image is really good. Now, when you're looking at a few things, the lens and the abilities on the camera will affect you. This one is very strong, and some of the stuff I think you're going to be starting out with is going to be more sit down, what you've already been doing. So, one thing that I can tell where other cameras they really separate themselves is when they can really do. They have the ability to um, be more choppy when you're moving around, but you're not going to be filming football games or stuff like that. Maybe you might be in the future, or something where it's high action. You're chasing somebody in a car. When there's a lot of images trying to be captured with speed, you have to definitely set your like those three things: shutter speed, exposure, and your iris and your lens. But sometimes the image sensors are not as strong, or they're not set for that. But it's okay. Like I would never be doing something like that right now. And but you'll learn how, when you use your camera, you'll learn that okay, it has its limitations, but it takes you practicing and shooting the camera. So, anyways, the one thing I do like, about these two cameras, that this would be your beast. This is what they call the Sony A7 III, 7 Mark III. And this is expensive. It's a pretty, but man, this one is going to do that. It doesn't even include the lenses. So you can see this is the top of the line for what they call the prosumer camera, one of the prosumer cameras. Um, I think there's another one. Actually, I wouldn't recommend this one. I'd recommend a Blackmagic, um, and I'll show you that one. But let me get to the point. I think for when you were letting me know about quick content, I think I would invest in a cell phone. What I would do is get a payment plan that you have with your cell phone provider and utilize the crap out of it, because man, they're making them very, very good. Um, and the best thing about it, and I'm going to bring this guy up, the A6600. The difference they made here in the 6600. This is the A6400 here. So they newly released the A6600, and that one is different because it has a few things. They're both pretty powerful. You can see it's about $200 more. But one thing that you do have, and it really fits for you, is that you're able to now. I'm going to go down to the setting. The description or the overview is the built-in Wi-Fi, and the built-in Wi-Fi. You're able to do share imagery to mobile device for direct sharing online to social media network. That's what you need, because remember, we're trying to cut down the time and what we call the workflow. The workflow starts to shrink, and that's why I think that even though this camera is very good, dude, it is a very, very good camera. I mean, it is close to shooting to the A7, and you pay for a lot less. That's what people like these cameras, because this one is really meant for to do just as good. It actually has the same sensor and processor as the A7. Um, so it's there's a lot of people, man, that are changing cameras, and they're saying I'm going to pay half the price and get just as good of a quality. But with keeping in mind with you, this is a great camera to have. I think what I would recommend is two. I'd buy something like this, or I'd even go down, if you want to go cheaper, to the 6400. I wouldn't go to an earlier version of the 64 because it's a full frame camera, and I think that's a really good start, especially if you have a pretty good budget. So I would do this one. I would probably do this one, man. This is a good camera, and this is a newer camera, and you probably want to buy a lens with it, so maybe a kit. But I would say, man, try to look for an iPhone, or I like mine LG V50 if you're a Sprint guy like me, or the iPhone, and make things happen. And I like them because, man, I've been using. I have a V30, and I love it, man. I'm able to really edit video quick. And I can produce stuff, so doesn't require me to get a big editing software where literally I need to go and put it into excuse me. I needed to go and put it into what you call a editing software. Now, I think you should go down this route where you learn how to edit and do what they call post production. But now you're talking about time. Now I got to upload the software. Now I got to update my computer. You can tell my computer is having trouble even opening it because it takes so much memory and processing power, because it's a lot of data they're working with. So you see, I'd like for you to start having two cameras to where you can do this on your own time, And if you're doing a production, you really want to make it look good, you can come in here and start editing. But if you're looking for more content, plus you're looking for great quality, man, I mean, I would like for you to do something to where you're gonna, use a cell phone and learn how to use that camera, because every camera loves to be shot a certain way, and the new ones are very, very good. But you're seeing, like on this one right here, let me go and bring it up. Grading test clip. I don't even know how to use this. It's taking forever to. Okay, so it shows here. You can see that I have an audio and a film. See, this is V1, V2, and now I can come in and start editing. I can start cutting. Here's like a splicer. I can go and you know it's not a blade. I can go and start doing some. Here's a razor blade. I can come and split the audio. Now I can grab it, and now I can put in. Whoops! I got to select just this one. Select tool. I bladed, what they call bladed, and now I can move this over, and maybe I can grab another footage, maybe of a house, and drag it in here, so it's there, you know. And so now when I'm here, I've added it in, and so when I run my video, and I know we're getting too much into this. Not too far from the city. We want you to come out here. We want you to enjoy this event. Come give us feedback. Help us out. Tell us where we're at. Tell us what you think about the house. And to reward that, we're going to offer you some prizes. And stay tuned for more of that information. Yeah, this is getting crazy. I don't think I'm playing the right one.
Here, there'll be different professionals from the industry here. Myself from Academy Mortgage will be here to help qualify people on the spot if you choose to do so. There'll be Danya Lopez.
Okay, so just watch here where this is just an example. I threw in an image here, and so it's going to clip. I can bring the audio here. Tell us what you think about the house. We want you to come out here. We want you to enjoy this event. Anyways, man, you can see this is real slow because I need to upgrade my RAM. So that's another thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to do that, and it's just something that is extra that you're going to have to do. Not expensive, dude, but it's, now you're going into, you break, when you do a production, it's broken up into a few things, into three parts. Pre-production, production, and post-production. Pre-production would be brainstorming about what are you going to do. Getting together and say, hey, these are my segments. If I'm doing television or like some sort of like, nonfiction kind of deal, and you're going to break down your segments about what you're going to talk about, give your timeline, how are you going to block your shots, where are you going to put the camera, how are you going to do that. Production is obviously going through it. That's actually figuring out how to put the light, where the light settings, you figure that out in post-production, but you're actually doing the work, you're actually, getting that done there. And then post-production is going to be now cutting it up. How do I make these transitions between multiple videos and things like that? Add in, these things. Now, two things that I'd recommend for you, because time is really of the essence for you as far as, your workload, your personal workload that you're actually taking on. There are good stuff as far as phone capabilities where, man, as long as you produce something that's linear, meaning that, hey, like the stuff you've been doing inside of your office, that you're talking about certain things, you keep it there, and you're not actually you're not cutting in what they call B-roll or other footage to be edited in the mix. It's perfect because now you can take it from the camera, and let me open it up. You can take it from the camera. Whoops, let me put in this one. And from there, what you can do is you can edit some grading and color. You can go ahead and balance the audio levels. Probably you can do that in pre-production. I can actually connect mics into my phones, and I can do a lot. And then I can put it up to YouTube, or I can put it up to your guy who's going to be managing your. I can literally instantly send it to him, maybe on a shared drive on Google Drive. It's free. And now they can go and take that video and post it up quick. So you can be doing this daily. I don't know. I'm sure you're been teetering and dinking with social media and understanding those platforms so you can market. But I think as far as content with respect to that, these are good phones, and I'm gonna buy this one for 19 bucks a month. I mean, you know how it goes with the thing. So this phone right here, you can take a look. It's got three different phones. It's got a normal telephoto lens. So the telephoto lens, they're gonna be very they're gonna like be very for tight shots. Maybe you're gonna do more portrait. The other one is kind of for just kind of average. You can do a little bit of both. I think this one, the telephoto, gives you like a, depending on your settings, you can get an easy what they call a soft depth of field or a shallow depth of field, and then you have your wide. You can see it's wide. The one thing that's good about this camera too is that their f settings, their iris settings are wide open, meaning that the lens takes in a lot of light. And because the lens takes in a lot of light, you can shoot pretty well in low light. So, for example, you might be at a low light. Now, low light is not no light; it's low light. So, you know, you can actually have a very good high quality film footage. So I'm going to show you some video footage right now of all these three cameras so you can tell the difference. But for the workflow, this is what I'm going to recommend. I'm going to recommend you get a phone. So this is very compatible. Obviously, you want to get yourself a case. Protect that shit, dude. It's a very good tool to have. You want to get something, and what we want to build is I need to talk to you about what it is that you want to produce. And I know you've been producing stuff already, and for that I really think that you can get it done with this. You can get it done with the A6600. You can get it done with anything, but I still think you can get it done well with these two cameras, the 66 and the camera phone here. The camera phone is just going to be so much more easier for you to be able to create the content and spit it out. Personally, I believe that you just got to make it look pretty good, but really audio is number one for content. And so I would recommend that, man. These are not too bad. I would even just buying an old, if you want to buy another one, but this is not bad. Just kind of see if you can get one of these. If you don't, also the iPhone, I have faith in the iPhone Max or iPhone 11 Max or some Pro Max. And iPhone, they have a really good sensor. I would say it's a little bit better, but as far as like lenses, I think I like the LG a little bit better. But I'm not really worried about it. I'm not. They're both really good cameras, and they're gonna give you what you need. I think for you, you're gonna be focusing more on creating content and learning how to do that. At the same time, you can still use these cameras. This one, and if you want to really start thinking with like a camera like this or like this, now you can really start messing with lenses, learn dramatic lighting, and you know how you want to light your set. You know, learn about audio, recording audio, and trust me, man, when you use this camera, you're going to be plugging in. I have a small little, it's great little what they call a lavalier mic. It's called a Boya lavalier microphone. Man, you can buy this for 15 bucks, and it's a great way to start. And you can probably see some videos on it, but they're great, man. What they do is they condense everything. So like you're hearing right now, I'm going off a microphone that's in a room, so you can hear a lot of echo, a little echo in the back. I actually have a little like cloth underneath it to kind of minimize that. But you're gonna hear it with a lav mic. It'll condense your stuff. It'll attach onto the strongest thing and just condense that one thing. So you can see here it says condenser microphone. It's very cheap, 20 bucks. You have a setting to where if you want to go into your camera, it's right there, or you can go into smartphone. And the reason why that is because it has you can see here it has three lines, and usually the mic inputs or the inputs for the cameras, the cell phones have the mic and right and left for you there. So when you're going into a regular microphone, it usually only has one, but this actually has for right and left, so you can record. It's really really cool, and it's cheap, and it's a great starter one. I don't want you to go get spend a lot of money. I'd love for you to start really playing with the mic and seeing its limitations. There's another one if you want to do something where you're looking real good, but these you can hide and they sound really good, and you're going to get very good audio. I have one that I'm using that I like, and I would get you something. What I'd recommend though is maybe getting like this one to start, and then doing a wireless one. Now wireless one, it's you're not doing wires. Rode has a really good wireless. Rode a pack to where you can now be sending these right here. They're wireless, and you can see they're a little bit more expensive. Here's a wireless set right here. That's probably there. Rode's got a good one, but look, this is a wireless one. I actually might even think about this one. But you know, look at the mic. You have one of these mics here, and then you have a headset. I don't need the headset. I wanted something sharp. Um, so these Rode ones are known. You also have built-in levels. So once you learn how to test levels, you can do a good job with that. But mics aren't that expensive, dude. And really, it comes down to more. Hey, is my room good? Right now, this audio that you're hearing of balance, I could surround myself with blankets and it would eliminate it. And I wouldn't need a $200 mic. I would just need to, and that's how you eliminate production, or you can actually get a better mic for it. So this is a great one for what you're doing. Obviously, like if you're doing stuff, you know, where you're going to actually want a boom mic, you know what I mean, and a field recorder, it comes to a different story. And once you're doing productions, I highly recommend, you're going to need people to help you. And that's what they do. You hire pros so they can come in, they know what to do, and they can come record your audio for you because you're directing. You're not, maybe you might be directing the photography as well, you know, but when you come to know, especially in the LA scene, you see that everybody does a job, everybody's unionized. And so you have people doing director of photography, you put somebody directing, you have somebody, you know, even in a small film, they're doing what they call gaffer grip. They start focusing the lights. You have a lighting designer that basically runs those dudes and say, hey, move that here, you know, focus it on me here. You have the audio, what they call the A1 and the A2. Audio 2 guy is going to be clipping up mics and making sure the levels sound okay. Usually in small things, they're mixing it in a field recorder. So there's many people that come together, and trust me, you can do it all, man. I do it. I love doing it all, and it's fun. But it's more a job. And sometimes whenever you start producing, directing your stuff, it really comes down to, hey, what can I do with what I have? I don't have the money to pay a crew, so I'm gonna write something that's very simple. So documentaries are beautiful. Like when you sit somebody down, you talk, and then you mic them up, you set lighting, and they're not moving. You focus the camera, they're not really moving. It's easy, and I think it's good because you can tell a story. But if you're trying to fucking, do any like Black Hawk Down and, rent a helicopter so you can fly through Morocco and, you know, you need, that's takes a whole other thing to be able to direct in a wide landscape to where you have people walking, 20 yards away. There needs to be directors that are directing the time to send those guys that are shooting in the background. So it becomes a huge production, and that's what it comes down to. But to get back to you, and I think that it's great to start recording, to get a lavalier mic so you can do what you're doing now. Number two, and then a camera, and a good camera is going to do something. Obviously, the A7 is a beast, but these are not a step behind, and they're really good. I like this one because the A6400 is just as good. This one maybe has a little bit better battery life, but you can't transfer that file over. So now you're going with wires, you're uploading, you're taking your card, put it into your camera, excuse me, into your computer. You're uploading it, you're cutting it up in post. You know, it's easier to do it, and that's why I like the cell phone. Now, if you want to do something else, that's you need two cameras. Now you have your cell phone and you have that. Plus, you're going to need more mics, or maybe now you start getting into the shotgun mics to use. Now you start having maybe some of your people that you're working with you to say, hey, yo, tell them to start running audio for you, while you're doing your segments. So lastly, your lights. I think your lights, man, for what you're doing, specifically your content, like you're sitting down, you're there, you're talking about stuff. You want it to be nice and soft. You want it to look full. At the same time, you want to look lit well. And so I would suggest you using some soft lights. And so that would be like, these are nice and cheap light panels. And let's look what that says, ceiling. Uh, okay. Now, these I don't mind, man. Like these do a job that are soft. Um, and light is a whole different beast. It's not bad. It's simple. People always. It's funny because I talk to a lot of people in film. They're like, "Man, you got to know light and night." Yeah, it's once you learn it, it's not too bad. But really, like nobody teaches you it, and so I just was kind of lucky to be able to do this. Okay, let me take a look at some of these. Okay, these are just light panels for like offices. Let me go to. Believe it or not, these work out all right, and this is what you've been shooting on probably right now. Maybe you have one softbox, but let me go LED lights, lighting for video. Okay, this is not that. Electronics. Okay. Okay, this is more like it. You got barn doors or you can cut off. These type of ones, man, they spill everywhere, and there's nothing wrong with that. But sometimes when you really want to kind of keep it off the walls, and you would need to get something like an egg crate. So these are cool, man, because you have two stands here. You can put them high. You can put them to where it's nice and even. Especially when you have two cameras, you're going to need more than one because you have different angles. Um, this right here can live right above the camera. Right above the camera, you only need one. I would recommend two, like one on you, maybe one that are at 45 degrees from your face, and then throw a nice light on your back so you can separate yourself from the background. So this is a good kit right here. These something like this, I like something maybe with barn doors. You can tell these don't have barn doors; they're just washed out everywhere. Um, but look at something like this. It has barn doors here. This is you don't have to get too romantic about these. They're pretty cool, but you can with change what they call color temperature. Let's see here. So if they see the Kelvin scale here, you can go from 3300 Kelvin to 5600, which is kind of a loose daylight. Um, and so this is a good one. They're light, man. I mean, a lot of people get romantic about it, and it's just how good it's accessorized. Can we shut things off? But man, I mean, really, I can make stuff that's cheap that can look just as good. Light is light. There's nothing spectacular about it. It really comes down to you paying for all the accessories like the barn doors, the durability, stuff like that. So, the one thing that I do like these are filters, color corrections, or what they call color corrections are called CTO. And so what this does right here is this one obviously doesn't have a ability to switch down from 3300 Kelvin or 2300. And they have two filters here for you to be able to change from a 5600, which is probably burning, down to a 3200 or 2700 Kelvin, which is like a more of an orange, filmy, warm look. And then you have diffusion, which basically makes that light a little softer. You can tell here this one has like barn doors. But they're all providing soft light, man. That's all they really do. And the way you position them, they're not too bad. You can control the intensity here, and you can the color here. And they're on a battery pack, so they're done really really well. Here's a good one here. So these are cool, man. You can have these even if you want. You can probably take take the stand away, turn it upside down, and have it live into your office, so it's a studio. Um, you can do that as well. I'd love to do that, man. I'm gonna try to start doing that. I'm gonna try to start building studios and try to be able to do this so it's kind of a set and forget. I come in here, I turn on my lights. Maybe that's why it's good to maybe get a remote, so you can work from the remote here. That's something to think about. And then wire these across, the down the wall, so where they're going to be always be accessible, and you just plug it in, and boom, you're ready to go, and you have an awesome little studio to always shoot your segments for Mike Blue's Blue Law from the Blue Law Group. Um, now I know what's going to happen is once you maximize what you're getting, you're going to say, hey, what else can I do? And so these things can do so much. These could be used for dramatic lighting. If you want to do more interview, Um, you can see here, like they're using a 2-point lighting system. They're getting what they call an edge light here. It's kind of a backlight. And so they're going right at about, what is this? If this is going to be 180 degrees, it's probably about I don't know, 170, 145 here. And then you have your 45-degree angle here. And you can tell that, you know, she's got a little shadow. The only thing I don't like about this is that it washes all over the back. So if you look at her there, you know, you really don't tell. But that's why egg crates are normal. So if I go and I do like lighting egg crates, what they do is they uh, they put around it. What they do is they don't wash the beam out, because what's happening when you put this frost is the light is starting to refract and move in more of a direction to where it's washing everything now, and that's good because it creates a softness to the light. But when you have these things that are called egg crates here, they directionize that softness down to that one thing. So the difference you're going to see is you're going to see more where the subject lit, but not the wall. And these are probably pretty good when you're dealing in a room like yours. I would recommend to getting something like this. And so that's it, man. This is a good thing to start with, um, you know. And this is like studio stuff. I mean, to be honest, you don't even need to get these lights. But let's go ahead and look at your stuff, and let me go and critique it. So I can show you what's going on here. Let's see. I have you as one of my guys. My subscriptions. Bear with me. My Oh shit! Damn! I don't think it's. Did I see this? No, that's not you. Blue Law Group. That's two. There you are. Okay, let's take a look here. I should get to the point here. Okay. Okay, I can already tell you just on this thing right here. I'm going to widen it out. Looks good, and I can tell you probably you have a lot of natural light into that thing, but you don't have control over the light. You know, it's not bad. I mean, the cameras are going to pick up a lot. What I would do here is if you have a window, I try to avoid windows. If you do, you can actually color correct this or put a tint on there to lower it, because you want to be able to have control. Believe it or not, this light is bouncing off here and it's giving you a nice edge on your back, but you have a little bit of light coming from your ceiling, so it's fine. But you got coon eyes a little bit. That's fine. Nobody really gives a shit. They can hear you. Personally, and stuff like this, it's not really that bad, because the reason why I say, hey, get those lights is because now you're going to have not a light coming down from here, but they're going to come down more from here. So you might have shadow here, but it's really nice on a 2-point lighting. Um, so that's what I mean by that. If you have a room, you can control all the elements of lighting. So now you can have, you know, what I would do is, and I'll go look back. Well, anyways, I'll look back at another one to kind of focus on that. But the one big thing that I'm hearing here, man, is I can hear the bounce, the echo in the room. So I think that lavalier mic will clear that. And you can always try to test that and to kind of see how it's coming back. But other than that, this is looking pretty good. I don't like your background. It looks like shit. You have something popping out of your head. You know what I mean? That's my call. I'd like to put like color here. I mean, you're looking more red. I want some green to offset this. So I'd angle the camera a little different so it can just look a little cleaner. Um, and let's go to another one here. Let's see what's going on. Okay, so this is on a green screen. You can tell this is on a freaking green screen or a chroma key. This right here, you can tell they don't even have a backlight, so he's kind of looks like his shadows blended into the fucking wall. You know what I mean? This guy didn't backlight shit. It's probably out here. This is a chroma key, and this is actually a green screen. And this dude, they do this for you. It's kind of corny, but you know, technology. These guys are more masters of post production. But here's that soft light, dude. You can just throw it, but you really don't have a background. And what they're doing is this is actually a green screen that's just being lit up, and then they're putting in post, like kind of what I showed you. They're putting an image behind it, so it looks good. This actually looks pretty good, really good. The only thing I don't like about this is, look, man, you need a backlight. This guy looks like he's coming, like he's blending into the wall. You know what I mean? You can tell, like this is all graphics. Um, so it's not, it's go out, Ruby. Go out. That's what this is. But dude, like I said, there's no need to get. When I say get romantic about it, it's really about audio. And look how it sounds. Oh, guess what he's got here, dude? Fucking $15 lavalier mic. Pretty cool, man. This one actually has definitely some room in a studio. You can tell they start off, the camera pans right and it bumps out. And so they've been lit to go from this position here. You can see he's actually full lit here, and I think he actually might have some backlight here. Can't really tell. Let's see. Yeah, he's got a little backlight down here. So, you know, they start there, but you know, they actually, you see him, he's going in from, it's actually fully lit. Looks actually perfect. And right here when he starts, you can tell he's got a little shadow here. You need, they have more of the lights over here. That's cool. I mean, this is just getting romantic. But really the audio sounds is what makes everything sound legit and really good. Let me go back and see some more stuff for you real quick. But I like it, dude. You know what I mean? I'm not really, I mean, I'm very picky because I can be like that. Let me just click on your. Okay, love your shot here. A lot better. You can tell the settings are two different settings. They came down on your levels here versus this one. So let's take a look at this one. Now this one I can probably already tell he probably had something on the mic here, and I can still hear bounce. It doesn't sound direct and it doesn't sound condensed. But I love the shot. It's in perspective, so if I draw lines, and I can't, coming down here to your shoulder, you're seeing them from here come out. So this is actually framed very well, and it looks good, man. This one looks a lot better. You're probably in a room now where you don't have any sunlight, which is good. Here's the top, but you're still getting those kunais, which I don't care. It doesn't really look good. I mean, it doesn't really look bad. I like it, dude. The camera is just a good camera, and the cameras that I recommended for you are going to make this quality. Your phone is going to make this quality. This is actually probably a wide angle, kind of a wide angle lens, maybe about 18 degrees, 18 millimeters. Nice, dude. You know what I mean? Graphics. Now, this is the one where we might actually want to have to edit. You need your graphics here, something that you can try to do to overlay, and I'm going to try to figure something out so you can do. But this is awesome, man. Just overlaying this, and that's all it's really done, man. I can actually, with my mic, I think they hid it behind here, right? They hide it behind here. Let's see. Okay, really nice. You got like this stuff is going to be edited in post. So you know it's going to take some going back there. Love this, man. And this is what they call is living in the upper thirds. So this is what's called the upper thirds, the middle thirds, and the lower thirds here. So the lower thirds, you had usually your graphics here, and it's beautiful here, and you're actually framed very well. So whoever did this did it's not that hard, man. I'm not going to give them too much credit, but it's not bad. But yeah, man, you look pretty good. If you see yourself a little too shiny, dude, you can throw a little neutral powder on yourself, or you can just wipe your forehead off so any oil you have kind of goes away. But yeah, man, this is good. What I would do is, well, this is actually pretty nice because if you're going to put graphics here, you can see it's getting cut off here. He should have made it a little bit smaller here, but this is actually pretty good, especially if you're going to be putting in graphics here. This is all done. It can be done on a free software, dude, like the one that I have. But you're just going to have to beef your computer up with some RAM so it can be able to get that done. But it's pretty easy, man. And once you get the hang of it, I mean, dude, you start to get a really good routine, which doesn't take that long. You can get it done pretty quickly. So yeah, man, that little, anyways, just something that, I think that could be done. That's not too bad. I'm gonna try to see if I can find an editing software on via the phone so it can be getting done. But if it's gonna continue to be something like this, I mean, this is a great camera for two reasons. Not that one, but this is a good one because one, you can share it instantly. If you don't really want to do it, I would go to the 64, and if you don't mind, put it in and start actually messing with post. I don't think it's that bad. One thing I really like about this camera is the autofocus, is that they're really good. They can focus on eyes, so you never have to worry about it going out of focus. And in most cases, like when people are actually using the focus ring to focus up, it's when people are really moving. And you're not. I mean, unless you're doing film to where it's going to really do that, you're going to practice that stuff and see when you need to do it, so you know when to time to roll the focus. Sometimes they do it for tricks and something like cinematography, to kind of like focus, blur it, and then focus it into the frame. So there's a lot, man. But a couple of things that I'd recommend, man. You can go many ways. Soft light, use that. What I would do too is a little trick, like I can tell. Let me show you something. When you move back and forth, the camera is starting to change you from a little red to a little green. Watch, see that? Now it's probably because your light in there is going to be probably green. It's like if you look at the bulb and turn it up, it probably says like 4000 K on that fluorescent bulb that's in there. That's an easy. It's just going to buy some film and put in what they call color correction. So it can always, like what it's done here was, it was probably graded, in post production, but it can be graded on the camera. It could be the levels can be set. That once again is a romantic thing. I think the footage looks awesome, but Blue, this is really easy and you can do this. I just showed you the way. If you're going to continue to do something like this, it's not a bad deal. What I do recommend though is I recommend pushing the desk actually a little bit more forward. You look like you're kind of real hunched up, but they did a good job considering that there. I like you to continue to use this upper third right here to be able to use stuff. But there's things to get away with it. If you don't want to jump your material, what I would do is cut in, because you can cut in linearly, but cut in and transition to a fade in, fade out, to where you actually don't have this on the. Let me just go back to this. You don't have this here in the film, but you can actually go to a new screen where it just boom actually has it right here while you're talking, and then fade back into you talking. You know what I mean? Transition. They call them transitions. Transitions are between clips are awesome. It keeps their attention. So this is which is really good to have, and it helps them keep their attention, because when you're sitting for 15 minutes and talking about right here talking about the difference between a C corp, you need to keep there's not a lot of bright birds in the sky out there, man. So you got to keep their attention, dude. So that's what they call B-roll. B-roll and stuff like that. So, just little tricks of the trade, man. If I take a look up here, you can tell that the difference here, like what they did with this dude, is look at his background, dude. It's not as mundane, but now he's got that color. What did I tell you? The green, right? the green here. Here's your red in the skin. You got some green books, a little brown. You have what you call, you're creating more depth in the shot. And so in your shot, because of the perspective, it's actually pretty good. So this right here is creating nice texture and depth. But over here, I'm dead. But it's not bad because I know I'm starting to throw some texture in here by using these graphics here. You got some books there. You got to throw some more law books in there, man, to make it look good. Maybe a poster of I don't know who's the new model. Anything right here, something there. This is a great area, man. To even maybe I know your office is probably a mess, dude. But dude, you got all those diplomas up there, dude. All those awards. It's a great background shot to do something, or even just trying to make photocopies and you know trying to make some copies and throwing those bad boys up there for some props. You know what I mean? You're not hiding anything. So so yeah, man.
Hi, Attorney Mike Ballou here, discussing the audits from business deductions that can potentially lead to a criminal fraud charge. So, specifically, the IRS has really been focusing on quite a bit of particular business expenses, what they call padding the business expenses or padding the expenses.
Yeah, so something I like this one. I actually like the other one a little bit better. Um, this one here, this one looks like the settings are a little bit darker. And it just looks more comfortable with the eye. You're not as shining, but no big deal. Both of them are sounding good. Um, audio sounds fine. But this is easy, man. And if you're paying this dude like a lot of money, man, this is an easy setup. I mean, it's an easy setup, dude. We can actually put a light right here to take all the way up, and you look very nice. The only thing I don't want to see is more shadows. You see, oh, it's a good point that I bring this out. You see how the shadow right here that it has is nice and soft? You can barely see it. That's what we like about soft lights, man. They're real soft and nice. Can't really see them. But whenever you have a light that's directly there, you're not going to get any shadows. Only when we put the light a little over, you're going to start seeing shadow this way or this way. You might see a little on the eyelids, but nothing too deep. Even like a little even like a little camera light might not be a bad little brick that just lights you up here. And I would say that'd be a good thing for this because you can do this. This is easy. You know what I mean? You can get this done and fucking get it done real easy. So I mean, yeah, dude. So this is not bad. You can move it out. If not, what I would do is, man, maybe get somebody in your office and train them how to do this and edit the same thing over and over again, and have them push social media if you're going to hire somebody, um, and see what happens. You know what I mean? But anyways, man, I hope this video helps. You know what I mean? I really hope it helps as far as you doing that. And oh, another thing, let me tell you here, even though you don't have a backlight and it's hard to, it's really, this angle is very hard. This will you'll get a bit away with this because you're not wearing black and fading into black. You have texture and separation to where it's showing that you're a three-dimensional person. The camera there showing the depth of the shot is showing that it's not really flat, and it's a perfect example of that. So yeah, man. So all this right here, this is all depth in the shot. It looks good. I would like some more stuff up here. Maybe some of your, like it makes it look like your credentials. But yeah, man, love the tie. I fucking think it looks great. It pops really good on camera. It throws opposite with your color. With your blue suit, you need to throw red or something, man. Anyways, but that's just me getting a little romantic there. Um, but yeah, man, there's some things there I don't. What I would do too is, I want this to pop, man. So I would roll this third up, and I would actually roll the whole black line. So now you're seeing this thing pop. You want to see your shit. You know what I mean? Remember, they're looking at you, but once again, this is me getting romantic. But anyways, I like I said, my philosophy is really what you're doing. Can you hear you? Number one, can you hear you? And so I could tell by your first couple of them, that's what you were lacking. But it's a very easy fix. Very, very easy fix. I think you just need to be able to test those audio levels, and it could be done. Dude, this could be done with my phone, and so I'd like to show you that. I'd really like to go up there, do this with mine, get out there, and show you what I did. Oh fuck, let me show you what I did. And I did this with one of those Boyas. Maybe you can see it. See what I got. See what I did. I did this on my phone, and that's because I did this outside. I didn't have any lights. It was actually a gray day, so let's see here. My home, didn't I? I don't know, I did it with this guy. Switch accounts. My library, maybe? Okay, maybe not. Switch account. Okay, those are mine. Obviously, where's mine? Purchases. Let's see. Just a bunch of music. Where's my shit? Uploads. Maybe this. Let's see. Uploads 1. Damn, I don't know how to use this. Oh, here we go. My videos. Where are my videos? Obviously, I don't know how to use this stuff. Let's see here. Switch account to. No uploads. Purchases. Okay, probably didn't do it there. Two uploads. The hell is my shit? Not history, but. God damn, man, I don't even know where. Kids are on a bunch of shit too. I can't even have any. Okay, I don't know where my stuff is. Yeah, okay, let me find. What did I do? Where's that video? My library should be there. Okay, I don't know where I did it or what I did. Um, Getting text. Let's see. Look for my little. Hang in there with me, man. Thanks for. Okay, and so I had this one. This is the one I was doing. So we edited this one. It didn't take too long.
Hi, I'm Adrian Ramirez, Stockport.
Okay, so you get the point. So this one was shot in 24 frames, so it looks more film-like versus yours, where I like yours, it's in 30. In fact, actually thinking about doing mine in 30 next time, 30 frames per second. So it doesn't look as more of a film look like this. Um, but nonetheless, there's stuff that you can learn and start dinking with. But that's it, man. I mean, now as far as other stuff that you're trying to do, man, maybe now get better with like maybe some of your classmates and some of the stuff, the acting stuff that you're trying to do, man. You could put it down on camera. Maybe light a little scene or something like that. That'd be pretty fucking cool, man. I think you're in a good environment so you can practice your camera and maybe even put it into post and start editing, color and grading, and doing all that kind of stuff. And but as far as your marketing and stuff like that, if you really want to start to put content, man, the phone. I shot this on my phone. This actually shot with my phone, and that's actually a tough eh, area to shot, but it was a cloudy day. You don't see any shadows. It's just really good. You can see our mics. This is actually one mic. It's a dual one that goes into one jack onto the phone. The phone that I have, that LG, is a lot of apps that are built in, so you can do good stuff. And this is kind of a wide angle lens here, so this is probably at about 15 millimeters. So yeah, man. So I hope this helps. Look at this, man. Give me a call and think about it, and I think we should go from there. I'm looking forward to, I possibly want to go out there, dude, to kind of help you, tell you what's going on, but I don't think I need to. But yeah, it'd be cool to kind of go out there and say, hey, let's do a couple of things, shoot it around a little bit in the next few days. If you want me to go out there, I'm seriously thinking about it. Really, just got to take the kids, or if it's gonna be something quick. But we can do this, and we can set something up to where you can set and forget, buy something. Oh, one more thing. You're gonna need a tripod. You're gonna need a tripod. So I think that, dude. I mean, if you want a really nice tripod, tripods are there literally to set it and forget it. As long as you have a level, it's fine. I think it's fine. Um, Number two, if you're gonna do panning, if you're gonna do stuff to where you can pan up and down, or yeah, pan up, down, left or right, then a little smoother head is better for you. But other than that, also too, tripods are built lightweight, so you don't have to carry them around. That they're not that heavy, but at the same time they're very easy to work with, and they're durable, because you might, if you're using it a lot professionally, you're going to come to find that, man, those cheap ones will bust. I got a cheap one that I use, that I shot that one on, and but I never use it, so I'm cool with the $20. So I can go get a mic, not a mic stand, I'm sorry, a tripod. Um, so it's pretty simple. Here's a nicer one. They're metal, they're not plastic. Right? These are shit that I buy. It's real cheap, plastic. You clip right here. But these are nicer. You can see that they have different knobs where it's easier to pan. This is really nice. This is a monopod. This can tripod monopod. That's pretty cool. Yeah, you can kind of, it's nice and compact. It's even more compact than this one. Here's a boom right here. If you ever want to do audio, like you're doing one of your scenes, you can put that there. Like if you're doing a face-to-face, you can hang the mic. Now that Rode mic is good there for that, like a shotgun or maybe a field mic. But these are a little bit more, but for to start off with, this is good. Believe it or not, because if you're using a cell phone, um, it might be good to get something, because you're going to be actually put it on the desks, and it might actually not be a bad idea to do something like this. I do think that you should get a leveler. It has something that shows that you're level, but you should be able to see it with your eye. But nonetheless, it has a level to say, hey, this thing is level, and it's looking straight. See if something like this has something. But it actually, yeah, bubble level right there on this side right here. So that'll show you, make sure your head's straight, which is good. This is a good little one, you know what I mean? But it's durable. It's aluminum. This shit ain't gonna break, dude. It's a good one, and you can, anywhere you go, you can pop that bitch in right before you can put it on your dashboard. Look at that bubble level, make sure you're good, and then from there pop in your A6400 or your phone on there. For your phone, I use this phone shoe for tripod shoe. Shoe mount. Like this is what I use to use my phone. I use something like this to where you can do that. And you can even see there's people that have like a gorilla set up here. They have a really nice. This probably looks like the same type of. This looks like the same one that we just saw. The bubble lens is right there. You know what I mean? But they got a mic coming in here. It's a directional mic. You know what I mean? This will work too. You know what I mean? You might pick up a little bit more because you can tell it's got the directional, but it's also got uh, the side pickups too, so it picks up stuff in the room. But this is really good for like hanging over. Um, and yeah, man, it just kind of like opens up here, and you know you can use your camera to do that, and it's badass, man. It's a cool little product here, and they're not that expensive. This one's a little nicer one. But yeah, I mean, I got mine for like $6. It works perfect. So that's it, man. Just these are some things that you can use, and once you start to lose your gear, you're gonna get smarter, and you're gonna see, oh shit, I can do this, I can do that, and also watching shit. You can see like, oh, what are they doing? You know, what are they doing? But much more, dude. And I think it's a great start. Look at this one. This one's cool as shit. This actually would alleviate you. You see this little light box here. This actually might alleviate those little bit of darkness on the underneath the eyes if you want to make it nice and smooth. You know what I mean? Also kind of clear up some of the wrinkles maybe. But I would put a diffuser on there. I'd buy they sell them, you know, films, and I'd tape it on so you could actually just be a nice little what they call eye light. And what it does is just fills those things in, and that's it. But you know, you just want to level it out and level out the light and make sure that you're you're balanced in the camera. So when you look at the camera, you'll know how much intensity you put up so it matches with it makes it overall even, and you don't get what they call a hot spot. And so that can happen, you know, that way. All right, man. So that's all I got. Take a look at these two. I'm going to send you off with a couple of like, shit, let's fucking look at some images. In fact, let's look at some, let's look at A6600. Two things that I like. They have the cinematic view. It's pretty damn cool. It's already a preset setting that's really nice. It shoots in 4K. One thing you're gonna see are these things called LUTs, dude. They're called I don't know what they're called, but they're pretty much presets. I don't remember what they stand for, but they're presets for a grading look. And you know, you can see it says color graded. That means they've added, you know, gradings. But if you want to put like raw footage, and usually when you do raw footage you want to be able to have more control in post, so you can see like a video test here of just raw footage. Just put that bitch up to again high def there, 1080p. Once again, you don't 4K is great but not really necessary. It's got touchscreen, that's pretty sweet, and so you see you can hit some areas where it can roll the focus automatically. One thing I like about this, man, when I was really doing this, is that the autofocus has improved tremendously. This is what I can see. I can see when the hair moves, it's a little choppy there. Let's see how when it gets close. This actually looks really good. And that, I can already tell that has a shallow depth of field. Like you can't really see too much in the background. It's because they have a certain type of lens and the setting for the ISO. So you can see it starts getting more depth as they back up. And that's just tricks that you can do with your lens. Anyways, you can tell it's very plain and very the colors and grading is not really there. So let me show you when you do that. Slow-mo is another cool little thing, but you know, unless you're doing some really cool shit to where you want to throw some thing, then it's good. But let me show you when it's you put like a LUTs around it. Now LUTs is a cool thing, man, because you just somebody else has already graded something, So you just have some preset, you pop it on, you don't have to do any grading. And I'm all for that. This is the same camera. How great that looks. Nice and, leveled out. It's very dark. What they call the blacks are crushed, meaning you can't really, they're really low and saturated. You're seeing what they did with, it says DJI Mavic 2 Pro spectrum grades. They're called LUTs. Looks okay. See how it has more depth, more contrast. That's what happens. And personally, like, I love grading and coloring. It's awesome. But man, another thing that just blew my mind is that these things are already set. They're set in the cameras. That looks like shit. You can't even see it. It looks like shit. That looks better. But it creates so much more depth in your shots. Colors and grading, they do so much more to your shot. And that was shot with that camera, dude. That's with the 6600. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Let's find one of those 6400. That's graded. And you can see here, this is what it says. It's 16 to 55. It's a stock lens that you'll get with it, and this is at an f2.8 aperture, meaning that's pretty good. You're taking a pretty good amount of light. Usually, the lower the number, the more light it can take in, like a 55 millimeters. Usually, like 1.8. And they'll tell you right here, testing out brand new Sony 6600, 16 through 55 millimeter, blah blah blah. He says, use my custom for a Cine 4 picture profile, still works great. So it looks like it shows you probably didn't even grade it. This is color grading with BlueTrax Pack 5. So look these things up, man. They're great things. All right, let's just see some of the footage. You see how they're graded. It's real pretty. That looks like it's 24 frames a second. Blacks are real crushed. You can tell. That looks really nice. Nice and wide at 15 degrees. I love that 15 degrees, 16 degrees, because it's nice and wide. I love how they made that as a starter, because you can get nice landscapes. It's great for your interviews. Look how great that film footage looks, man. And that's at A6600. But really, I think the trick is really high quality and low light will give you a lot of good stuff. But yeah, it looks fantastic. So it's a great camera. Anyways, all right, dude. Let me cut you off there, and from there, let me know what you think, dude, and we'll talk a little bit more. And I'm serious about you getting this stuff, and I think these are good ones. Lastly, I got to show you this one. I think that instead of that, if you really want to get something that's pro and you're serious about it, that you really want to do some stuff, I think the Blackmagic is really good. A good camera. It's called the Pocket Cine camera. And let me see if I can get this one. I think if you're getting really serious, and I think this is where you should start with the 6400, and then I think you should upgrade to this one. Now, I don't say you're not going to use the 6400. You're just going to start using this one too. So now it's always good to have two cameras, man. If you're doing interviews, if you want to cut between images, I mean, two cameras is money. I mean, it's great. So you can see this is the type of camera that people are loving. It's really, really good, and you're going to start to see that they're more professional. They're having a lot more attachments, to the camera overall. You can tell here he's got a shotgun mic here. Does he have a shotgun mic? No, that's actually just a roll bar for his recorder. He's got a recorder here. He records externally. You can see he's got his grids, so he can keep things in perspective. This one's probably a higher definition thing for him to shoot. So it tells you more. You have levels that you can record for the mic. Everything's really good. You can use better cards to export video. But you're now professionally doing some good stuff. You're sitting down. You're editing. This is a very, very beautiful camera. And this one's not too expensive, dude. It runs for about, I think, $1,500 to $1,700. And not only that, it gets you DaVinci Resolve, which is the editing software that's highly recommended. But they come, then you have to buy your I think it's made. You can buy the one. So if you want to use like Canon rings, you can use those for your different type of lenses. Now you're in LA, dude. So the thing that's badass about that is if you start using shit, you can go down to some place and rent certain lens for the day. So you don't have to go spend like 12 grand. Like they're gonna cost you about like $600, $300. You can rent one for like $50 for the day to do your one shoot. If you want to mess with it, and maybe if you start to find a lens you love, you can say, yeah, I rented it out, and that's the one I love to use. It's just like what I like to do for what I want to do, but it's going to take you sitting down and just watching. Like, go to these things, man, and just go watch footage and see what people are doing, and that's how you get better, man. That's how you really get better. And with like this age, man, YouTube will show you everything. So, anyways, that's all I got, dude. So 3 cameras. Depending on your budget. I think this one is great because you're the transfer. The 6400 though is going to be cheaper. And remember, you have to buy a lens. So let's see if you can buy 6400 kit, or 6600 kit. What's up, Ria?
Could we go outside over there?
No, in the back.
Okay.
Okay, in the back. But make sure to put a coat on, okay?
Okay.
Maybe see if they have a kit so you can have a lens on it. So here it's a $400 one. This is going to be that 18 to 35 millimeter kit, but you see you're at $1,500. Now Blackmagic. Now let me just go to like Blackmagic. Pocket camera. Those are really good. They have they have like the 6K, which is kind of expensive. Okay. Let's see here. $2,400. You know what I mean? Really, really nice camera, man. Really nice camera. I really like this camera a lot. This one, I think it's got the EF lens mount, so it's set up for, I believe you can choose Nikon or Canon lenses. That one, I believe, is a full frame lens, and I believe the full frame lens is something to where it doesn't it makes it so it's not, you're not actually have to put the camera back because it kind of crops the image and it makes it closer. So I think that the Blackmagic 4K is a good one it's a really good one. I would recommend that. Pocket camera. Where are you? Here we go. So this one's $1,200, and this one I like. And so if I don't like, okay, it's a full size 4/3 sensor. Okay, so this is another one that I would recommend highly. Very, very good camera, but I think that it's a 4/3 sensor. It's not a full frame. If I go back over here, this is the downside about that one. It's not bad, but if I go and I use that one, the 6K is a 35 millimeter sensor, which is a full frame. It's not a 4/3. Still not bad. It's just going to be cropped a little bit, but still going to give you fantastic stuff. Really nice. But this one is the better one because now it doesn't crop it. And what that does, dude, is the cropping of the frame means that it's going to be pushed up, so you're not going to get as wide shots. You're going to need to step back farther. But it's okay, depending on where you're at. But I can already tell you, like, if you're going to shoot in that room, man, you don't need any cropping happening on. You need something that's going to be nice and wide. So this is where I don't like that. But like I said, on your setup, I don't think it's that bad. I think you can get away with something, and you should make some pretty good quality with a phone, or you can do it. Now, this is the advantage about the price with this one. Even though you have a full frame, and this guy.
Daddy, can I have ice cream?
Yes, go ahead, babe. This one you have a full frame, so now
and
you're.
baby too.
Yes, go ahead. You have a full frame full frame camera here, so this one is actually going to be pretty good. So this is the one that I'm kind of leaning on, dude. Not only that, I like the fact that you do have a Sony. These use like a Minolta and lenses, and they're good lenses, but they can fit onto here. But they're called EFS lenses. Yeah, or the OSS are going to be the new ones that actually work well with them. So you kind of have to build your gear, man. It's a tough decision, but man, if I really like, if of all three of them, I mean, trust me, there's even more better ones, but these are kind of what they call prosumer. But this is the one that, man, if you really want to do some stuff and are just going all out on it, I would say the Blackmagic. But I would do the 6K, even the 4K, man. Don't be. I'd be okay with a 4/3 lens. And look into it, YouTube it, and see what the difference is between those two, because your quality is fucking amazing, man. So you're not losing shit on that. It is amazing. I mean, you're seeing extremely good quality. Here's that 837 that I showed you at 120 frames, but you don't even be shooting 120 frames per second. It's like slow-mo shit. So you can see how it gets. Let's see, this guy's just talking, he's not doing footage. Anyways, man, I hope this helps. Give me a buzz, dude, if you want, and give me your thoughts. And it's a lot. That's what I was telling you, man. I know you want to get something quick. This is a good start, dude. So it just, man, it depends on what you want to do, what kind of gear you want, where you want to do something. So there's many ways to skin the cat that you're looking for, but I think it's good that you start kind of fiddling with some good ones. And I like the Sony for you, because man, if you're ready to bump up, you could have your Sony A6600, and then you can buy the Blackmagic if you really want to get serious about. And at that time, you can make a real good full feature with that shit. You could really make something nice at that point. In fact, you might even sell this back, and it'll have good resell. And it's good to have two cameras, man. Especially if you're have a two shot or something like that, where you want to have two cameras focused on. But anyways, man, these are going to be the bulk of it, man. But I really see, probably about, for a lot, stands, some mics, some tripods. I mean, $4,000 is a pretty generous budget, So, it's up to you what you want, but I think it's a good place to start. And maybe even like giving yourself some credit or something. I don't know. So you can see what you need later, depending on what you want to do. But that's for their next conversation to talk about. All right, I'm out.